Welcome back, people, to another unit. This time, this is unit number 11, and it is called Exploration. The topic that you could see there, life in space, is very interesting for some of you, okay? And for that reason, I decided to leave that link on YouTube, which is a video which answers the following question. Can you cry in space? Yes or no? You are going to watch the video and you will discover it by yourself. So please, I invite you to watch that video. After that introduction, let's see the objective for this unit, which is to compare or to contrast active versus the passive voice. And I'm going to explain you by showing you that picture, that cute dog over there. In addition, look at that sentence. The dog wears a uniform. Okay? There is a subject, there is a verb, there is an object or complement or rest of the sentence that we normally use. I got a question for you, and it is a little bit obvious. Who wears a uniform? Is it the dog, the animal? And the question is this dog active or passive? That's a very interesting question. Voice, in this case, it is a synonym of a performer, the one who does the action. So again, the dog, in this case, it is a synonym of active voice because it is the one who performs the action. Which action? Wears. What is the complement? The one who receives the action? The uniform in this case. But I got a very interesting question because this is active voice, but what is passive voice? For that, let's imagine that the dog now is the one who receives, or the one who is passive voice, the one who receives the action. What does it mean? To change the position of the subject and the rest of the sentence. Can you do that? Yes, we can. Look at the example. A uniform is worn by the dog, or in Spanish, un uniforme es usado por el perro. Okay? So we are going to see the similarities and the differences between active versus passive voice. But for that, we need to do the typical activities that we do at school. Look at the objectives for today's session, the beginning of this unit. We are going to identify the main ideas and examples of passive voice in a text related to life in space, which is the topic for today. And we are going to start with this one. Recognize vocabulary of the unit. What's the vocabulary? Exercise number 1. You are going to do the planet quiz. And the instruction says, match the planets, Venus, Earth, Uranus, Jupiter, Neptune, Mercury, Saturn, Mars, and Pluto. Very interesting. With the definitions, and you are going to see that Pluto is not a planet at all, but you're going to see that in later. Try to do the activities in your copybooks or in the book, in the handout, in a document online, but please do them. Next, on page 27, you are going to read that text. That is a text called Life in Space. And there is a question at the top. It says, what it is like to live so far from home? Very interesting question. You are going to see the subtopics, training, 0G, routine, work, water, and team spirit. All those topics are related to life in space. Once that you read that text, you are going to underline those vocabulary words. Aircraft, strapped, tie down, weightlessness, dome, and there are others, freeze-dried, straw, launch, dumped cloth, and disposable clothes. So those words, you are going to find them in that text and you are going to underline them, right? Once you finish with that activity, you are going to match the numbers to the pictures, okay? So that are in total 10 words. Use dictionaries, use the ones on the websites, wordreference.com, that one that we normally use. And also you can find these words and in the text and you look for clues if you didn't understand the meanings in Spanish, okay? After that, there is another activity, which is the typical one of true or false, okay? Number one, for example, says the International Space Station has a special chair called the 5DF. What is that? Have no idea. So is that true or false? And please, this time, if the sentence is false, please justify the reasons why, okay? You can do it on your copybook, on your text, etc. But please do it. After that, and this is the last activity for this week, in the same text, you are going to not underline, you are going to circle the following structure: is or are plus a verb. For example, in the text it says training. Astronauts are trained to deal with zero gravity using strange machines. You can see are, okay, plus an action, plus the verb, which is trained. Yes? So please, you are not going to underline, you are going to circle the examples. I found another one over there. It says 0G in space. Everything in the station is tied down. Is plus a verb. In here, remember that there are regular and irregular verbs. So please circle the examples. There are more than 25 or 26 different examples in this text, okay? So once you finished all the activities, you can sleep, right? See you next week. Bye-bye and have a good time.